Is his handsome son. His name is John Diamond. Can John Diamond come up here? Hi, I'm John Diamond. Before I speak, I want to thank my mom and the Folletti family, the entire family. Uncle Lou, Auntie Ann, Auntie Donna, Uncle Jack, Uncle JT, for helping me write his biography. It was an honor to learn about Mark's history before mine, and it was an honor to share with them the life that we've had with him in the past 38 years. Just know you have a nephew for life. And as much as I'm a Diamond and a Suarez, I'm now a Folletti as well. In fact, if you didn't know, my nephew has the Folletti name tattooed on his chest, so when he gets drunk, tell him to take off his shirt so it's there. Mark, I know you didn't want all of this. It isn't you. You never like to celebrate your life. But now you're gone, well, you kind of don't have a choice, do you? But today we gather to say goodbye to a man who changed my life forever, my stepdad, Mark Folletti. Stepdad. What a weird fucking term. I'll get to that later. When I first met him at 14, a few years before my dad moved away from us, I remember conning Mark into teaching me how to drive. I didn't even have my driver's permit. I accidentally backed his car into a pole at Seafood City. But he didn't get mad. Shit, if the roles were reversed, I would. He just went to the trunk, got his hammer, and tried to hammer that shit out. I told him not to snitch, and he agreed. He was okay in my book. When I think back to that day, I didn't realize at that time just how much he would mean to me, or how much space he would take up in my heart. I had no idea how profoundly he would change the course of my life just by being there. He walked in not trying to replace anybody, not to prove nothing, just quietly offering his love, his time, and his heart. And in doing so, he became my father, not by obligation, but by the truest sense of the word, by choice. We got to the point where our relationship had developed. He overheard me call him stepdad when I was on the phone. We both felt weird about that. Well, he was young, and I thought he knew there was a responsibility attached to that term. And later on in life, I felt fucking weird calling him my stepdad, because now it feels just so inadequate. He was so much more than a label. He was a father, a big brother, a protector, a mentor, and the one person in my life I never had to question because he always showed up, always. And I'm so happy and jealous that my mom and my sisters and his grandson Jacob got to live with him every day. And their pain is likely harder than mine. But this was probably the reason I decided to buy a house across the street from them after college, because I have extreme FOMO. And speaking of college, I did get to see him on some weekends when I needed to do my laundry or take food back. We bonded by drinking and smoking cigarettes and other things, while playing video games. I don't do those things anymore. He was a huge gamer who was able to turn over asteroids. Now, for you younger gamers, turning over a game meant you reached the highest possible score, and at the end of that, the game would continue, you reset back to 0. But he loved playing Flight Simulator on his keyboard and mouse. My freshman year of college, after I got my school loan money, I bought him the most expensive flight stick I could find. It must have been over $200. The most expensive gift I've ever given anyone. He was so good at that game that he became a real pilot. No cap. He upgraded the stick a few more times over the past 20 years. And after he died, when I was going through his stuff, the only stick he kept was the one I gave him. You don't know what a gift is sometimes until you lose it. And now that he's gone, I feel like the ground has been ripped out from under me. I'm trying to stand here and speak, but all I feel is this overwhelming weight of an absence. I feel lost in a way I never thought I could. Because losing him is like losing a part of myself. There's so many memories, so many little moments that I take for granted. Moments that now seem like everything. When I'd come over his house, the times he'd sit with me in silence, the quiet understanding that passed between us within words, the way he'd put his hand on my shoulder and suddenly the world didn't feel so heavy. The way he'd drop everything if I needed him, even I didn't have to say a word. Living next to him spoiled me because I was always so used to him being my safety valve. And now he's not here. And the world feels so much colder, so much emptier without him. What do you do when the person who held you together is no longer here? How do you move forward when the person you leaned on, the person you counted on is gone? I don't know the answer. And I don't know how I'm supposed to do this living without him. But I know this, Mark would want us to try. He wanted us to remember the strength he gave us. He would want us to carry on the love he showed us, the way he taught us to never give up, no matter how hard life gets. And even though the pain feels unbearable right now, I will try to carry him with me every step of the way. I will never forget the way he loved me, the way he loved our mom, the way he loved his family, the way he loved our family. It wasn't loud, it wasn't showy, it was in the quiet moments, the everyday acts of kindness that we so easily overlook. He didn't need recognition. He didn't need thanks. He just loved with his whole heart, without ever expecting anything in return. And that kind of love is rare. That kind of love is precious. Mark may have not been my biological father, but he chose me. He chose us. And in choosing us, he gave us the greatest gift of all. He showed us what it means to be family. Not by blood, but by bond. And I will carry that with me for the rest of my life. I will miss him every day. I will miss his laugh, his smile, his funny impersonations, his jokes, his fettuccine alfredo, his artichoke chicken, his spaghetti with gravy and with these mountain mushrooms that he hunted, the way his eyes will light up when he rode his motorcycle. I will miss the sound of his voice calling my name. But most of all, I'll miss his presence. His steady, unshakable presence that made every day feel okay even when it wasn't. Mark was an extremely loyal man, a trait that most of my mentors unfortunately didn't have. But no one's perfect. He wasn't perfect, but he was to me. And now as we try to say goodbye, I realize that goodbye doesn't feel right. How can you say goodbye to someone who's a part of you? How can you say goodbye to a love that will never leave you? The truth is, we won't say goodbye because Mark is still with us. And in every moment, every memory, and every act of love that we pay forward, he is in the way we love each other. the way we show up for one another, and the way we forgive each other. Because that's what he wanted. So today we don't say goodbye. We say thank you. Thank you for loving us. Thank you for choosing us. Thank you for showing us what it means to be family. And I promise you, Mark, that I will take care of Mom and our family. I promise you, Mark, we will carry your love with us always. I will carry it with me every day of the rest of my life. I will miss you, but I know you're still with me, guiding me in life and in this new video game venture that you encouraged me to take on. The company's called Media1UP. It's not a plug or anything, but if you got VC money, you should go talk to me outside. The nickname of my company is M1UP, or Mark1UP, or Mark a New Life. It's a tribute. Mark, you have traits that I wish I had. You were humble. I'm a flawed man, but you're kind, a man of integrity, intelligence, a man who never spoke a bad word about another, and a peacemaker. It always anguished you when my family and your family had drama, because all you wanted was peace. And now you're at peace. And I hope we all can find the peace within ourselves and the peace for one another. And I have so many regrets. I was the only one in my family who didn't go to the Letty family cabin. I'm not exactly an outdoors kind of person. I couldn't bring my Sega Genesis over there. But I didn't know until the very recently how much it really meant to you, how much it was a part of shaping you and your family history. But I promise I'll be there one day to pay my respects to your ashes and to your legacy. I'll just bring a 20-foot satellite dish for Wi-Fi. One of my biggest regrets was I didn't say I love you as much as I should have. You said it so much to me and my family. Everyone, don't forget to tell their loved ones, your loved ones, how much you mean to them, how much you appreciate them, how much you love them before it's too late. I regret him never hearing me call him Father. Rest now, Father. I love you more than words could ever say. Thank you for everything. And one more thing, I want to say one last words to you. You, sir, are an asshole. That was our inside joke. Ask me later. It's my privilege to